Parcaut, glad to be here.
Glad
And
to
his
be
front
alive.
yard is looking so good.
Good. Well, it's not so. Wait, when the grass and the other stuff gets in,
Well,
it'll
yeah,
be so good.
your ground covers and stuff like that. But it's been a while.
Yeah.
So doesn't it feel good when you're finally making some progress?
Yeah.
So
Sure. Go ahead.
Speaking of progress, whoa,
What's the progress?
Look at this. You ready for some numbers?
Sure.
Here we go. Shing, bang, boom. Bam.
880 listings. That's the highest it's been.
We're surging. We're actually can use the word surging. We're surging with listings in the state. This is 880 listings in 1 week, ending April 26th. And then 506 closed sales, 530 pending sales in 1 week.
Yeah, but that's those are about average, those two. But
yeah,
that
those
880,
two. But 880
is a lot.
Is a jump from that's 110 more than last week. 24% of us realtors closed a sale, and it was
1 in 4.
It was legislative week in Sacramento, so it's amazing they're still able to work while they're there. Down on the entering escrows and listed a property, well, you can see that's up because of 880.
Yeah,
and the people are still they're positive on the listing side, but they're not positive on anything else.
Well, because they're not getting they're not
getting the listings.
They're not doing the sales. So they're just going, oh, look at everybody's doing the sales. And there's not a lot of them.
That's what happened this last week in California.
There you go.
There we go.
All right. And what do I have? I have some unfortunate numbers today.
Yeah. That's what you said when I walked in.
So the BLS jobs report came out today because that was pretty much all we had. The Bureau of Labor Statistics. And those numbers came at jobs created 177,000 versus 130,000 estimate, stronger than forecasted. And then they had revisions for the prior months, which were revised down by 58,000, tempering the optimism. So February went from 117,000 to 102,000, March from 228,000 to 185,000. So the question is going to be, is this one going to be revised down like the other two were revised down?
I would hope not.
Well, I mean, the question...
The other two were revised down by millions or a million.
No, I'm talking about the February March number went from 117 to 102. March went from 228,000 to 185,000. Listen to what I'm saying, boy.
I went all the way back into Biden's career.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, but this total in 2 months was 58,000. It was not like the whole Biden's year where they all had to go, every month had to get done by 85,000.
Right.
What I'm saying is these numbers come out. So every other number that came out this week was lower. And then this one comes out higher. That's what, and I did a little check, and I'll go down to it in a second, but let me get through a couple other things.
Sure.
The average hourly earnings up 2/10 below the 3/10 estimate. Year over year, basically people are getting 3.8% more in earnings. Not much. That's what's that? 3 cents for every dollar. Raking it in, buddy. Average weekly earnings up, jumped up to 4.1% from 3.5% that year over year. Hours worked steady at 34.3. That's really not full time, is it?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't appear to be. It doesn't look like it.
Right. The different surveys. Remember, there's the job survey, and then there's the household survey.
Right.
Household survey.
Huh? Hello. The household survey.
Oh,
you answered the phone.
That's right.
Do you not have a job?
I'm sorry, I'm confused. It was 436,000 jobs gained versus the 518,000 labor force increase. So the unemployment rate stayed at 4.2%. So it didn't really change. So the unemployment part didn't change, but the other side had more jobs. Just don't look like it's happening. So right now the bonds are about 19 basis points down, and the 10 years up to 4.30. We were as low as 4.19 yesterday and the day before. I asked my Chad, what's the big difference between Bureau of Labor Statistics and the other stuff that came out? And it said, well, the difference in the survey methodologies is BLS report based on 2 surveys. The established report, payroll data from business, and household survey, unemployment status of individuals. It includes government employment and is considered comprehensive. ADP report focused solely on private sector employment using payroll data from its clients, excluding government jobs and potentially underrepresenting small business. I don't know about. I think that ADP and the other ones are much more accurate than what these are.
Sounds like
timing of data could be the other thing. Is BLS collects data during the week that includes the 12th of the month, while ADP may be influenced by different reporting periods by different companies. sectorial coverage. Yeah, that's right. BLS report includes jobs gains in sectors like healthcare, transportation, warehousing, which may not be actually captured in ADP's report.
Wow.
Yeah. BLS report may reflect hiring decisions made before the full impact of recent tariffs and economic uncertainties, where ADP data could be more sensitive to immediate business response. That's what I was saying. BLS is old data,
Yeah.
and it's always better, and it's always getting revised down the next month or the next month after that.
Right.
That's what I was trying to get to. It's the point that I don't believe the BLS anymore. That's why I called it the Bureau of Lying Statistics. I just think it's an older number. It's behind, right? It's like if we did only 1 month of California data, it would always be 30 days behind.
Yeah.
Than what we're doing. We're doing weekly numbers.
Right.
We're a week behind.
It looks like the Dow and the S&P are doing just fine.
Well, of course, because there's jobs. There's jobs. 390. It's up 397 points on the Dow, which is good. But it's the tenure that we want in our industry and your industry to go down so the rates can improve.
Right.
What else did I have on here? Real estate industry news. Florida market trends. Florida housing market softens. No kidding.
Yeah.
According to Housing Wire, the Florida housing market is seeing price declines across key metros like Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville. Rising insurance costs, affordability challenges, shifting migration patterns. I don't know why they care about birds.
I don't know either. But, people follow the birds.
Oh, hold on. Let me finish. Home values, buyer sentiment are cooling as inventory grows. And, especially the watch for market specific trends like high tax or coastal zones with rising climate risk.
Yeah.
So that's what they're worried about, those things. Now, what you were going to say?
Well, prices, of course, are going to drop if you have a third of the nation's inventory.
Right. And cool. I would like to really know what that number is. So maybe you can get that for us on Monday, since we'll have nationwide and I'll be able to connect it with the other.
Text it to myself so I don't forget. What was I supposed to get for it? We talked about on Tuesday. I will have to go back and listen to the show.
What?
I was going to do a little more research on it, but when I got to the office, I was like, what was it?
Yeah, you should start texting yourself.
Yep.
So overall, that's kind of where we're at. And also we're focused on the Operation Firewalk. That's tomorrow at 5. Doors open at 4. We start eating at 5. 5:30 is when we start talking. And that will be, and then the walks around 8, whatever it gets dark, 8:15, 8:30.
That short clip you showed yesterday at Rotary of Bobby Sen. Is it Sen or Scene? It's SENN. And what he went through that day and the days after is just amazing.
Yeah.
Have 2 buildings fall on him.
Yeah. The 2 towers fell on him, but and I don't think people realize the quality of people we bring to this event.
Yeah.
Right. People are probably, hey, it's Modesto. How could it be? We have a guy that worked for Tony Robbins for almost 20 years running his firewalks, the captain of the firewalks doing the firewalk. We want to make sure that we have a great time and nobody burns their feet. And then we the speakers. I mean, last year Dave Sanderson, right? Sanderson,
yeah,
who was the last person off the plane in the Hudson, had a great talk. It was amazing. People like, oh my God, that was just amazing. Now this year we're going to have Bobby, and we also have
Rapata.
Yeah, I can't think. Yeah,
Bobby.
Stan. There's the word I'm looking for. He created the veteran centers at Delta College and UOP, and he's just a really, really great guy. And he's going to be talking, So we'll have a couple people talking about fear, and we'll have Bobby Seen talking about what he went through, and it'll be a good night.
It's going to be an interesting night. And the thing about Sanderson last year was it's amazing how many years it's been since the crash, and because he did dive into the Hudson. He wound up with jet fuel in his eyes, and he still has the jet fuel in there today.
Yeah, that's why he can't see well.
He doesn't see very well. He hears great, though.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Well done.
I tried.
You did it.
All right, I got you.
All right.
All right, everybody, make it a great day. If you want to come to the Firewalk, reach out to me. You can find me, direct message.
Someone's here with a large bucket.
Direct message me on Facebook or anywhere else. I'll get it. Or call me 209-404-1915. Make it a great day. Thanks, Mike.
Or go to operationfirewalk.com
and just sign up.
That's right.
There you go. There's the other way.
Bye.
Bye.